I would talk to friends about it, everybody kind of laughed, not in a disparaging way, just in like a, that's really
crazy,
unheard of. That's unheard of.
Yeah.
Like, you should do it, you know, be you, but that's crazy.
Hey guys, how you doing? This is Connor. You're watching Thriving Minimalist.com, and today I am with a very special guest, my brother. I know we look a lot alike, and we are inside of his home. So I wanted to interview him because he's been living a minimalist lifestyle for a long time, and he's an interesting one because he also happens to be a lawyer.
That's true.
So tell us a little bit about Stuart.
Stuart is my 1991 Aerostar Ford van. I got him for $700. He came with a busted out headlight and a battery that didn't work. My partner and I got him all fixed up. Got some lumber from Home Depot and built a little bit of a bed here with compartments underneath for storage. This is most of what I own. It's really nice to feel like I've got the mobility and the simplicity of my life.
The freedom to move around.
Freedom, I think, is probably a good word. Financial freedom. My experience was that I was working all day. I was waking up early, going to work, and I was not even getting a lunch break and leaving when it was dark and then coming home when it was dark, and I was just using my apartment to sleep in. And then on the weekends I'd go to a neighboring town about an hour away where my partner lives to spend time with him, and so I was not enjoying my apartment, and it just didn't make sense. Acquiring Stuart, moving my possessions into him, I'm able to cut down a huge cost. That financial freedom allows me to have more free time. I realized that I needed to minimize the outflow of cash, especially on things that were going just down the door without any return pleasure, things that make life worth living and enjoyable and satisfying. Gym membership, yoga, acupuncture, things that, you know, I actually get a return value on, whereas that living space that I was paying for every month and just sleeping in wasn't giving me that at all.
I think a lot of people feel trapped. And I think that's what you're describing, is they go to school or they take out big loans, maybe for a car or even for a house, and whatever they had just spent all this money on and accrued all this debt is not actually bringing them joy and happiness. They're no longer able to have the freedom to explore what brings them passion in this life.
Oh, absolutely.
And I think a lot of people feel like there's only one way to do it. And what I really want to highlight is that that's really not the case. Not everyone wants to live in a van, and I get that, but it is an option, and it's an alternative option, and I think that there's always alternative options out there for people who maybe are feeling trapped. And the solution is find your own option that works for you, and know that you don't have to do it like everyone else is doing it, or like it's traditionally kind of set up to do it.
And I guess I just want to preface any of my comments by saying that I'm still figuring it out, and I think it's a constant journey.
I'm really glad you brought that up, that it's important to let everyone know that we're all just trying to do the best for ourselves. And I think the best thing we can do for each other is to just talk about personal experience, what we're doing, what's working, what's not working. And for you, it sounds like Stuart is really working for you and feels really good. It seems to me that you've been living a very simple life compared to a typical, maybe American, for a really long time. Like, for instance, I remember you just having like one pair of jeans, and that was really fun for you to just have one pair of jeans and like a few t-shirts and a suit that you wore to the office. Your home was really simple. For a long time you just slept on the floor. It's kind of been built into you, this idea of simplicity, and it's really worked for you, and it's very different than what most people do.
I've been wearing this same pair of jeans for a week now, and I'm fine with that. I haven't had a bed most places I live. Most places I just get one of those little foam things from Target. The only furniture I've ever owned was either borrowed, assembled from like a little kit that's, you know, particle board that is light, and you put it out in the street corner and give it away.
Okay,
I've never had to pack up and move anywhere any time in my adult life, because I've never acquired those types of things. I've never had the material possessions that I couldn't get rid of.
You are choosing to sleep on the floor when you sleep on the floor. You're choosing not to buy the furniture when you don't want it. You're choosing to live in Stuart. So these are all choices that you're making that I feel like there are other people out there who want to do that, but are maybe just struggling with feeling like it's okay to do that. And I guess I'm wondering, like,
Okay.
how does it feel okay for you, and what could you offer to other people?
That it might not feel okay at first, and it might feel kind of weird, and that when I first started toying with the idea, I did feel very conflicted about it, and I was like, well, where am I going to shower? Where am I going to do laundry?
So this is around living in Stewart specifically?
Living in Stewart specifically. When I would talk to friends about it, everybody kind of laughed, and not in a disparaging way, just in like a, that's really
crazy,
unheard of.
and
That's unheard of.
yeah.
Like, you should do it, you know, be you, but that's crazy. And I had a bunch of worries of my own. Like I said, laundry, showering, where am I going to park at night was a big one. I thought, you know, wherever I go, there's going to be a security guard or a police officer banging on the van in the middle of the night. Common one I get asked is, what are you going to do for the bathroom in the middle of the night? And all those things were really easy. None of them have turned out to be a big deal. And it's easier than you might think is probably the message.
Yeah, I think
it's easier
that's
than you might think to live out of a van and to reduce the things that you actually need.
Closing comments for anyone who is looking to kind of change their life, having a hard time getting started with it. What could you just recommend to them?
Definitely that it's easier than you are feeling.
So it's like the fear of the unknown.
Fear
sometimes.
of the unknown.
And this other thing about, you know, it not being totally normal, so we don't have it modeled to us a lot.
Don't have it modeled to you.
But sometimes
how does that look?
stepping out on our own can be like the most empowering thing for ourselves, and really following our own path. Your own path is going to be
the path
less
take.
followed, and the one that you take.
Absolutely,
you know, because a lot of us are kind of copying one another because it's maybe the easy way, or we think that we have to do that in this life. And I think we both want to encourage people to really do their own thing, and this is just my brother's way of doing it. I hope that was an inspiring video. If you like the vid, if you like my brother, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. And I think the only other question that people are going to want to know is, why are you a ginger, and why am I a brownie? Or a darkie, as they say.
It's because my dad worked at the post office.
No, we said it was the mailman.
Oh, because
that you got the joke reversed.
because my mom slept with the mailman.
Right.
Which is funny because my dad is the mailman.
We got it. Okay, we'll work on that. We're doing pretty good.
Because the chicken crossed the road. No, that's the punchline.
No. All right, much love to you guys. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
My minimalist apartment here in Austin, Texas. What I'm packing for to be married. I used to own a house. I used to own a rental property. I used to work a 60 to 80 hour job.